and welcome back to my channel where I post irregularly. Anyways, as you can see by the title, we're going to be putting a flank rope on Kamani today. Now, before I get a ton of hate for it, here's why. She's had a few days off due to me going on trail rides and not getting home so late, and then it rained for 2 days. And one night when it was sprinkling, I did some work with her, and then today was her full day back in work because it's finally not raining and it's supposed to rain again tomorrow. So I'm like going through my checklist. Let's tack her up, saddle her up, and do all the groundwork that I'm doing weekly now on a daily basis with her. Let's just say I was grooming her. I was brushing under her stomach where the girths and the cinches go. And all of a sudden, the middle of her stomach towards her flank, she's never been super flanky. I mean, she flinches here and there, but it's just a tiny little, like that. You know, it's never been something major. And I was just grooming under her stomach, and she switched her tail, pinned her ears, raised her head, jumped forward, and kicked out at me, and almost kicked the living crap out of me if I hadn't been paying attention. So I went back and looked underneath her. There's no cuts, no missing hair, nothing like that. So there's no soreness. There should be no soreness. I don't know if she's sore. I don't know if she's playing games. I don't know if it's an attitude because the weather changing. But we're still going to put a flank rope and make her work, because I don't want her being super flanky. So, looks like we're going to be doing flank rope today. I have never done this with her.
Okay guys, I did do a test of it on where her front cinch goes, and I just cut that out because of course she didn't do anything, you know, she doesn't do anything with the saddle, but it was just kind of a test to see if she was sore there. I just didn't want her whole underside touched. So you can see here, I'm asking her to trot, and I have that rope about midsection here, and I'm just pulling and releasing. The old me, I thought the right way was, back when I had Rose and Skyla, was to just crank it on them, because that's what everybody had done in front of me, you know. But I've learned, after talking with Blue Rock and a few other people, you know, pressure and release with this is really the best answer. So you can see she kind of pins her ears, raises her head a little bit, she tightens up, and you can see she's kind of trotting weird, and it's really, really active tail. That's about the most she's going to do. She's kind of stepping a little shorter, probably because she's not used to that pressure being there. The saddle doesn't, you know, pressure and release like that all over her flank. So I do want to show that we do walk, trot, canter both ways. And we actually, at one point, I unsnapped the lead line from the halter because with her, and with some other horses too, they know that they're not supposed to do certain things on the halter, so they kind of hold that in. And once you kind of unattach that lead rope, they can blow up a little bit. I left this part in to show you she wasn't really speeding up to the canter like I was asking, so I went to get my lunge whip, and the flank rope is still on her. You can see it. Remember, lead rope's still on her, and she's just standing there. So here she kind of gets in trouble in a minute here. I asked her to stand in so I can untangle my ropes, and right there she moved off, so I kind of pulled that rope back. I didn't have it tightened yet, gave her a pop to stand, and again I start to untangle my ropes, and here again she just decides she doesn't want to stand there. So I pick up my lead rope as quick as I can, pull her off her balance, and give her a couple hard jerks, only because that is her cue to stand, is a quick hard pop. So I was trying to get the point across that, look, I don't want you moving. So she's doing really good. So I don't know if she's coming into heat. I think it's too late in the season for them to come in the heat. I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know what it was, but this is still something that's good to do because you can see she's uncomfortable. And so here, I actually don't have the lead line on her. I have just the flank rope. And I just wanted to see if she's going to buck or do anything without me holding her head. Because again, some horses, they know they're not supposed to act in a certain way. And when you have that line on, they hold things in. So that's why I did this way, is just to see if that's what was going on with her. And clearly it's not. You know, she's uncomfortable. But what horse wouldn't be uncomfortable with the rope tightening around their flank?
You can see she doesn't really care about the flank rope. I mean, she might pin her ears and switch her tail a little bit, but she doesn't do much. So her kicking out at me for rushing her, I have no clue what that's about. Maybe it's just an attitude because the weather's changing. So, you know what? At least I know she's pretty good with flank rope, so she should never buck if something touches her flank. Because I had that rope all over her flank, both sides, walk, trot, canter, both sides. And she didn't buck, she didn't kick out, she just kind of showed that she's a little uncomfortable. And I pulled on it pretty tight a few times after I did some pressure and release on it, and she still didn't care. And I held while she was going around a few times. You can see I'm holding it tight just to kind of see, is there a threshold that I have to go over to see her reactive side, and there isn't. So her kicking out at me is probably just an attitude thing because of the weather. That's the only thing I can think of. Maybe she's coming into heat and is a little tender. Don't know. Either way, I'm happy to know that flank rope doesn't make her buck. Thanks for watching, guys.